This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist CJ Cartledge.
Good morning, everyone. I'm First Alert Meteorologist CJ Cartledge here, hopping on the First Alert Weather Breakdown for today. I hope you guys are doing great, and I hope you guys had a great Easter Sunday despite the severe weather that we saw across the Arklatex for our Easter Sunday here. We did not see too many tornado warnings, which is good, but we did see a few severe thunderstorm warnings across the area that impacted some areas, especially for Shreveport and Bossier, with the flash flood threat that we received yesterday that had a considerable tag. And we're going to be going into more details about the storm damage and what we saw across the area later on in this podcast. That looks to be our main topic for today, actually. We're going to be putting the topics here on the screen. As you can see, for the topics today, we'll be talking about the local forecast as well as the Easter Sunday recap, plus the storm damage that we saw across the area here. And so let's jump right into it here. Going into our KSLA tower camera, sponsored by Mattress Plus. We're looking at mostly blue skies across the Shreveport and Bossier area, at least, and most of the areas actually dealing with mostly clear skies as well. This does not mean that a high pressure will move in and will be dry for the next couple of days, but this just means that we'll have a little bit of a lull period of no types of rain or any types of storms in the area. We'll be getting a well-deserved break from any types of severe weather through the day today and even into tomorrow, as conditions look to be mostly dry as well across those areas. But taking a quick look at radar and satellite, as of right now, this shows across the entire country, actually, or most of the country through this view. This low-pressure system brought us the severe weather that we saw yesterday, along with a cold front that is pushing through the region as we speak, and pushing temperatures down into the towards the average for this time of year in terms of highs. I know some areas got down near the upper 40s for today, and Idabel got around 48 degrees. And other areas got up to around 60 degrees for areas to the far south and eastern portions of the Arklatex here in our Louisiana parishes mainly. But the main thing about this low pressure system is it's moving out of the region. The main front has actually moved out of the area officially earlier this morning by the time we hit around 6 or 7 in the morning. But we're expecting a few isolated showers to pass by our southernmost counties and parishes there as we move through the day today, as we move through the morning and into the afternoon, possibly even into some parts of this evening before it starts to fizzle out, and we'll be back to mostly dry conditions across the area, and this low pressure system will be a thing of the past, or off to our east, and to be exact here. As you can see, going into First Alert Doppler radar, now we are looking at these showers and storms that have just moved out of the region here. I'm going to take myself off of the screen. As you can see, the showers and storms, the main line has moved out of the region, but we're expecting a few isolated to scattered showers and storms to pass by areas like Sabine County and Parish, St. Augustine Parish, through Natchitoches Parish, maybe even some portions of Red River and Bienville Parish, and as well as Jackson and Wynn Parish. Those areas that I just listed have the chance of seeing these isolated to scattered showers and storms through the day today. Maybe some parts of DeSoto Parish and south and eastern DeSoto Parish as well. Everywhere to the north and west of what the counties and parishes that I just named will be mostly dry. As you can see by the cloud overlay, maybe some clouds will pass by Shreveport and Bossier, but areas to the north and west of Shreveport and Bossier aren't expecting any more cloud cover through the day today, and will be mostly dry as temperatures will be rising into the lower 80s heading into this afternoon, and upper 70s as well, before temperatures drop into the 60s by the overnight hours here. But the main thing is we'll be seeing with a lot of sunshine for today. And maybe a few clouds will pass through, but we'll be seeing a lot of sunshine once again. These are conditions that we hope for, or we would hope for, our Easter Sunday. But turns out we did not receive those type of conditions, but we are receiving them now, and that is the good part about it. Moving on to highs for today. As you can see, we will be reaching the lower 80s for most of the northern half of the Arklatex, not so much for the southern half, and I'll show that in just a second as well. 84 near Texarkana, 83 for Stamps, 82 near Magnolia and Prescott, 82 also for Foreman and DeQueen, 83 for Vivian and Doddridge. Shreveport Bossier looks to be at around 82 degrees for a high today. In terms of East Texas, 87 may be reached near Henderson. 81 for Gilmer, 84 near Longview, and lower 80s for areas like San Augustine and Chirano and around Center. Look to be between 80 to 83 degrees for the most part. And as you can see in some portions of our northwest Louisiana parishes will be in the upper 70s, mainly because of the cloud cover and the rain that is possible in those regions through the day today. Maybe a little bit cooler in some areas near Montgomery with the green shades that you see there. But here's a quick look at future track and what we can expect in terms of any types of rainfall, cloud cover through the next couple of days. We're going to go all the way out into our Wednesday, where our next big rain chance looks to move through the Arklatex. And as you can see, moving into this afternoon, we'll still be dealing with the showers and potential storms in Natchitoches Parish into our far south and east here. And as we move into the evening hours, we should be clear of any types of rain showers here. There's the new model runs that have just came in. And the new update shows that it will leave earlier than expected, earlier than what I've been talking about on the KSLA News 12 this morning. But the wind direction looks to shift to coming mainly back out of the south. And for those who know, with southerly flow, that brings back in humidity, that brings back in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And it brings about some rain chances for the Arklatex. Maybe 10% rise in rain chances through the day on Tuesday, but that's going to be pretty much it for the most part for most of the Arklatex, with the exception of our southernmost counties and parishes, once again receiving the bulk of this southerly flow and receiving the higher rain chances for our Tuesday that may be rolling through, but they're expected to diminish as we move more into the overnight hours on Wednesday, with another disturbance moving in as we move into Wednesday afternoon and into the evening. As you can see, it looks to be pretty messy in terms of the rain showers that are expected through the day or through the afternoon, at least on our Wednesday. This should clear up by the time we reach the early morning hours on our Thursday, maybe potentially during the overnight hours on our Wednesday night into Thursday. Here's our highs for tomorrow, though. Well into the 80s across the region. 87 for Shreveport, Hope, and Longview. 84 near Homer on the east side of I-20, 83 for Minden and Ruston, just on the other sides of Homer, 88 for Texarkana, 86 for DeQueen, 84 near Center, 86 near Natchitoches, and 85 over by Nacogdoches on the to the south and western portions of the Arklatex region. Our rain chances, as I've been talking about throughout this entire forecast so far, will rise heading into our Wednesday, Thursday, and our Friday. And I'll give you another sneak peek of what to expect for Thursday and Friday coming up in just a second here. And as you can see, the highest rain chance looks to be on our Friday, with widespread rain chances, rain or in storms potentially across the region. But as we move into this weekend, it may get drier once again, similar to how we will see on Tuesday, with not too much really going on, maybe a few isolated showers expected. But it's mainly because of the southerly flow that we'll still have rain chances potentially heading into this weekend and into next Monday. Here's a quick look at long-range future track. This goes from Wednesday all the way out into Friday, and it's a lower resolution model, which is why you see not as clear, not as intricate types of greens and potential yellows across the region here. So take this with a grain of salt. As we get closer in time, we'll get more fine-tuned details on how things may shape out. But heading into the overnight hours on Wednesday, things may clear out across the region here. And once we move into the daytime hours on Thursday, another chance for rain. I would say that the darker greens that you see, the higher rain chance it is for your area associated with this model here. But as we move into the evening hours on Thursday, it still looks to be pretty rainy across the region, maybe for some portions heading into the overnight hours into Friday, with another front that may move through on Friday. And moving into the afternoon hours on Friday, it still looks to be mostly rainy across the region here. So definitely a good amount of rainfall expected for the Arklatex before it finally moves out by Friday night into Saturday. Here's a overall rainfall potential through the next 7 days. The bulk of it coming from Wednesday through our Friday coming up this later on this week. And as you can see, most areas to the north of I-30 will be under that 2-inch range, maybe upwards of 2 inches in some spots, maybe some localized areas getting up to 2.5, maybe even 3 inches. But the rain totals look to trickle down towards around 1 inch or around 3/4 of an inch for areas to the far south and east, and most areas south of the I-20 corridor as well. So it's good deal rainfall coming our way associated with the next couple of days here in the Arklatex. So make sure to keep that umbrella handy, especially if you move out, especially if you are around the Arklatex, of course. But tomorrow, keep the umbrella handy. You'll definitely need it as you move through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. And maybe not so much as we head into this weekend, though. Hopefully, things will clear up by the time we hit the weekend. But here's that 7-day forecast. We're expecting mostly dry conditions through the day today. As you can see, that rain chance rose just a little bit on Monday, mainly because of the front that still is generating some isolated to scattered showers down to the far south and east, but it should remain down to the far south and east, and most areas north and west of Shreveport will stay dry. And as we move into our Tuesday, mostly dry conditions once again before widespread rain showers are expected by the time we hit our Wednesday, potentially on Friday and Saturday, or Thursday and Friday, excuse me. Not so much for Saturday and Sunday, but we will still have some slight rain chances on those days. Temperatures may reach back into the upper 80s, even as we move into our next weekend here in the Arklatex. So that's pretty much the gist of what's going on here around the region, and we're expecting rain on the way. We're going to be nice and calm and quiet through the start of this work week, mainly on Monday and Tuesday, not so much for Wednesday through Friday, but make sure to keep that umbrella handy. We're not out of the woods just yet. We know we've received a long dry period to technically not start the month. We got severe weather to start the month, this month, April, but through the midsections of the month, right after the severe weather passed, we did get a good amount of time with dry weather. But this time, during that time, actually, we were talking about how this time period would be wetter than average, or we'll have more rain than average for this time of year. So we are in the thick of it in terms of the rainfall that is expected and the rainfall that has already fell. So make sure to keep that umbrella handy. We're going to be talking about the storm damage and a recap of yesterday's storms as we go after this quick break here. So make sure to stay tuned for the update on the storm damage and yet a recap of yesterday's storms. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Here's a quick look at what the storm damages were from yesterday's storms, and it actually was not a lot here. We didn't receive many damaging wind reports nor hail reports. We actually did not see much hail at all across the region associated with these storms. It was mainly just a heavy rainfall threat as well as the damaging wind threat. But even though we did not receive much damaging wind reports, there's still some damaging winds in some areas. But we also received some circulations, multiple small circulations across the region here. But the main things that we will be talking about for today are the three flood reports that we receive across some portions within the Shreveport and Bossier area. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the first one down here in the southern portions of Shreveport. And as you can see, the description says the water over Mansfield Road near Barron Road. There were multiple areas where they had flooded roadways, and there were actually some areas that had dealt with some rescues. Some police and firefighters had to rescue people from cars around the Shreveport and Bossier area due to the flood alerts due to the flash flooding that was going on. And I believe this one was one of them. There was a report from Mping, and there was a street road flooding, and the street road is closed as a result, and vehicles were stranded as a result. And this was most likely an area where some people's vehicles ran into or somebody tried to run through or drive through the flooded waters. And it is very important that you do not drive through flooded waters, and that is because you don't know how deep that water is. You may know the street or that you may drive through that it would be flooded, but you don't know how deep that water is. Excuse me, I'm mixing up my words. And there was actually a report of some hail around half an inch, but there wasn't many reports of hail associated with this storm. It was reported at around 8:19 p.m. last night, and that's when the storms pretty much rolled through the Shreveport and Bossier area. It started at around 7, didn't leave until we hit around 9 p.m. And there was another report. This was I believe this was I'm not sure of the street, but this is just right next to I-20 here. Zooming out a little bit. Yeah, I believe this was just right next to I-20. It was going in the way of where the airport is. And it was just off of I-20 near Highway 79 here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what the report says. It's high water rescues across parts of Shreveport due to heavy rainfall. So heavy rainfall was definitely a threat associated with this storm. And that was the difference between Saturday storms and Sunday storms, Easter Sunday storms. The main thing about Saturday storms, it mainly stayed north of I-30. It didn't affect areas at all, pretty much south of I-30, but it affected areas like McCurtain County, parts of northeastern Texas, and those areas over there. So it didn't affect Shreveport much, or areas south of the I-30 corridor here. But yeah, Shreveport definitely saw some considerable damage due to flash flooding associated with yesterday's storms, and because of how slow the front was moving through the area, it allowed for more rain to fall, and that's why the flash flooding had occurred in some localized areas. Now I'm going to look at some pictures that were sent in, or there was one picture and one video that was sent in to our studio or to our station here that we will take a look at. One of them being a funnel cloud that was near Taylor, Arkansas. And Taylor, Arkansas is just north of Spring Hill, Louisiana, which is right across the border from Louisiana, Arkansas. And that looks to be a funnel cloud right there in Taylor, Arkansas. I'm not too sure, and the reports are not confirmed or official that this was an actual tornado that touched down, but I do know that there were many different circulations, many weak circulations, as I should say, that were associated with this system here. One of them went right through the downtown Texarkana area and moved into parts of southwestern Arkansas after it moved through Texarkana. And I was looking at it on our Texarkana live camera, actually, and I just saw funnel clouds. I just saw spinning funnel clouds, and none of it actually touched the ground as far as what I know so far. The National Weather Service in Shreveport is going to be going out and doing damage surveys and seeing if anything had touched the ground there on that front. But as of right now, nothing much touched the ground. But there's another video that was sent in on earlier today, Keithville, Louisiana. This was from Eastern Sunday evening, and as you can see, it rained pretty hard across the region here, especially at where this video was taken from in Keithville. As you can see, looking out on this is most likely their backyard or so. As you can see, there was a lot of flooding going on, and there was some gusty winds. So yeah, definitely a severe storm for sure, and something that we needed to take seriously, especially with the flash flooding that had went on. Actually, I want to discuss something real fast here. There was also a lot of damage reports just outside the region, as you can see, moving north outside of our area. That's where most of these severe storms were, or most of the tornadoes were reported, or the actual tornado warnings were issued in most areas in northern Arkansas and Missouri. I saw a lot of tornado warnings in Missouri being issued, in northern Arkansas as well, even some in Illinois, which is where all the damaging wind, that's where the broken trees, that's the damaging wind reports here. The green is the flood, of course, and the red is the tornadoes. And this particular tornado report had traveled most likely from McCurtain County. Our only tornado warning that we saw during the daytime hours. This was in northeastern McCurtain County, and affected areas like Smithville. There was Smithville. It was in the extreme north and eastern edge of the McCurtain County area, and it moved northeast at around 40 miles per hour, and it kept trailing northeast and northeast. And I believe this is the same report that was generated, actually started in Smithville, and it went all the way into areas just north of Little Rock, and it had tornado warnings on it from Smithville all the way into Little Rock. So it was definitely something to be concerned about, especially for our area. We covered it a little bit from around 1:45 until around 2 o'clock, or 1:30 to around 2 o'clock, as it remained in our viewing area. But it appears that it didn't do too much damage, which is a good thing for us here in the Arklatex. So that's all the damage reports I had to show you guys for today. Luckily, nothing was too bad across the area, and hopefully everybody is safe and sound from the severe storms that happened just yesterday. I'm going to take another quick break, and we're going to wrap up the show, and we're going to talk about what we can expect for tomorrow's show that will also air at 10:30 a.m. on our Tuesday. So I'll be back in around 2 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Just wrapping up the show here, but there was also a question in our YouTube stream that is up right now, and they said, "I have a question for you. How does your graphic system work? They look wonderful." And appreciate you. Thank you for telling us about our graphic system or complimenting our graphic system. If you would like to learn more about it, though, you can always pay us a visit here at KSLA or pay us a visit. Pay the weather team a visit here at KSLA, and we'll be glad to explain in detail how our weather system works. I know we use WSI Max as our system, but I can't go into too much detail on here. But if you would like to come in for a visit to have us explain to you what exactly our weather system or how it works, the ins and outs of it, we'll be glad to have you. Just email us. You can email me at chance.cartledge@ksla.com. Or you can email us at weatherbreakdown@ksla.com, which is right here on the screen. If you want to if you want to talk about any topics, you want us to talk about any topics on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown, you can send us an email at weatherbreakdown@ksla.com or message any of us on Facebook. You can message the KSLA First Alert Weather Team, which is exactly how I said it on the on the Facebook app. You can send us an email, any of us an email, or any of the KSLA First Alert Weather Team an email, matt.jones@ksla.com, and literally anybody on the weather team, Austin Evans, Evan Thomason, and me. My name on my email is a little bit different. It's including my first name, which is Chance, CHAUNCE.cartledge@ksla.com, or no, at gray.tv or ksla.com, whichever one works. And our Facebooks are c.j.cartledge, which is me, Austin Evans, which is Austin, of course, meteorologist Evan Thomason, and meteorologist Matt Jones as well. But if you have any topics you want us to discuss, please email us, message us on Facebook, or message the KSLA First Alert Weather Team on Facebook as well. I'm going to be wrapping up this show right here, and I appreciate you guys for appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm a little bit tired, so my words are a little bit mixed up. I apologize. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one, which we will be talking about. I promise you guys I would discuss what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We got some weather videos that we have seen on Twitter that we wanted to share with you guys with the severe weather that has passed through not only the Arklatex but through the country last week. And it's a valuable teaching moment for you guys, I believe, for this video that I want to show you guys. So I'm going to show you the video tomorrow at 10:30. Make sure to tune in. Be there. Be square, I believe is what Evan Thomason says. He says, be there, be square, stay weather aware. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow on KSLA News 12 this morning.